We are officially into December, the last square of our filet crochet blanket project. This month we are going to be crocheting a dove. If you're new to filet crocheting, I have a how-to video to get you started, and I'll link that down below. So check that out if you are interested in working up some of these squares and you need a little bit of a refresher. But let's jump right into crocheting the December filet crochet dove. For our December dove square, I am using this Impeccable by Loops and Threads. It's a 4-weight acrylic yarn in the color apricot. And with that, as always, a 4.5mm crochet hook. To start, we're going to pop a slip knot onto our hooks and chain 48. Once you have your 48 chains, we're going to work a double crochet back into the 4th chain away from our hook. 1, 2, 3, so that chain right there, I'm going to work a double crochet. So now I have 2 double crochets. That turning chain will always count as a stitch. Now we can look at the graph, and on the graph, as you're reading this, every odd row is read from right to left. So row 1 for this square, all of our squares on the graph are shaded in, which means they're all blocks, which means all double crochets. So we're just going to work a double crochet into each stitch all the way back down our foundation chain. Each row should have 46 total stitches, including that turning chain. Row 2, we are now reading the graph left to right. All even rows we read left to right. Chain 3, this counts as a stitch, turn. So we've got 1 stitch there. We need 3 blocks to start row number 2. We're going to work a double crochet over the next 9 stitches. Here's our first block. A block consists of 4 total stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're all double crochets. When we come to a space is also 4 stitches, and it consists of a double crochet, chain 2, skip 2, and a double crochet into the next stitch. This last stitch of a previous block counts as the first stitch of your next block. So here's our first block for row number 2. I'm going to double crochet into the next 3 for my second block. So we've got 2 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4 for the first. Count that same stitch for the next block, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Double crochet into the next 3 to complete the next block, and I will now have 3 total blocks to start row 2. So I've got my 3 blocks, 9 stitches, and then there's our turning chain, so 10 total stitches to start row 2. We now need a space. So remember, a space is a double crochet, chain 2. That double crochet counts as the first stitch of your space. Skip the next 2 and work a double crochet into the next stitch. And now we have our space. We need 7 blocks now, so I'm going to work a double crochet over the next 21 stitches. Next we need a space, chain 2, skip 2, double crochet into the next. You should have 9 stitches left on the end. You're going to work a double crochet into those last 9 stitches to complete your 3 blocks and row number 2. You're always going to work your last stitch into the top of your turning chain because those turning chains do count as a stitch. For row 3, reading the graph right to left, we're going to chain 3 and turn. We're going to work a double crochet over the next 6 stitches to get our 2 blocks to start. We now need a space. We're going to chain 2, skip 2, double crochet into the next for our space. We have 9 blocks, so I'm going to work a double crochet over the next 27 stitches. When working over your spaces, you want to try to work into those chain stitches. We now need a space, chain 2, skip 2, double crochet in the next, and you should have 6 total stitches on the end. For your 2 blocks, we're going to work a double crochet into those last 6 stitches. Row 4, we are now reading the graph left to right. Start with a chain 3 and turn. We start with 1 block, so I'm going to work a double crochet over the next 3 stitches. Next, we're working a space, so chain 2, skip 2, and double crochet into the next for our space. We now have 11 total blocks, so we're going to work a double crochet over the next 33 stitches. Next we need a space, so chain 2, skip 2, and double crochet into the next. You should have 3 stitches left on the end. You're going to work a double crochet into each of those 3 stitches to complete your block and row number 4. For row 5, we're going to start with a chain 3, turn, and the graph has all shaded in squares, which means all double crochets. So you're going to work a double crochet over the next 45 stitches, every stitch all the way across to complete row number 5. For row number 6, reading the graph left to right, we chain 3 and turn. We have 6 blocks, so that means a double crochet over the next 18 stitches. We now need 5 spaces. So you're going to chain 2, skip 2, double crochet into the next 5 times. So there's our first space. Let's do that again. Chain 2, skip 2, double crochet into the next. Space number 2. Chain 2, skip 2, double crochet into the next for 3, chain 2, skip 2, double crochet into the next 4 spaces, one more time, chain 2, skip 2, double crochet into the next, and that is 5 spaces. On the end, we need 4 blocks. You should have a total of 12 stitches, including that turning chain, to work into to complete your 4 blocks and row number 6. Double crochet over the next 12 stitches. For row 7, we're going to chain 3, reading the graph right to left. We start with 3 blocks, so a double crochet over the next 9 stitches. Next we need 7 spaces, so we're going to chain 2, skip 2, double crochet in the next 7 times. So just like what we did down here, you want 7 total spaces. And next we have 5 blocks, so you're going to work a double crochet into those last 15 stitches. This will complete row number 7. For row 8, we're reading the graph left to right, chain 3 and turn. We have 4 blocks, a double crochet over the next 12 stitches to start row 8. We now need 9 spaces. So we're going to chain 2, skip 2, double crochet into the next 9 total times. And now we end with 2 blocks on the end, so a double crochet over those next 6 stitches. And that completes row number 8. For row 9, reading the graph right to left, we start with a chain 3 and turn. We have 1 block to start, so a double crochet over the next 3 stitches. And now we have 10 spaces. So chain 2, skip 2, double crochet into the next 10 times for our 10 spaces. We have 4 blocks at the end of row 9. You should have 12 stitches left. Work a double crochet over those last 12 stitches to complete row number 9. For row 10, reading left to right, start with a chain 3, turn, and we have 3 blocks. So we're going to work a double crochet over the next 9 stitches. We now have 11 spaces. Chain 2, skip 2, double crochet in the next 11 total times. One block left at the end of row number 10. You should have 3 stitches left. You're just going to work a double crochet into each of those last 3 stitches to complete row 10. For row 11, we start with a chain 3, and we're reading right to left now. We start with 1 block, so a double crochet over the first 3 stitches. Three spaces, so chain 2, skip 2, double crochet in the next 3 times. One block, so we're going to work a double crochet over the next 3 stitches. We have 8 spaces, so chain 2, skip 2, double crochet in the next 8 total times. Two blocks left at the end of row number 11, 6 stitches. Here, work a double crochet into each of those last 6 stitches to complete your 2 blocks and row number 11. For row number 12, reading left to right, we're going to start with a chain 3 and turn. We start with 1 block, so we're going to work a double crochet over the next 3 stitches. We have 4 spaces, so chain 2, skip 2, double crochet in the next 4 total times. We now have 1 block, so a double crochet over the next 3 stitches. Four spaces, chain 2, skip 2, double crochet in the next 4 times. Two blocks, so a double crochet over the next 6 stitches for your 2 blocks. 2 spaces, ending with 1 block a double crochet over the last 3 stitches to complete row number 12. For row 13, reading right to left, we're going to start with a chain 3, turn. We have 1 block, so a double crochet over those first 3 stitches. One space, chain 2, skip 2, double crochet in the next for our space. 3 blocks, so a double crochet over those next 9 stitches. We now have 4 spaces, so chain 2, skip 2, double crochet in the next 4 times. Two blocks, so a double crochet over the next 6 stitches, and that will be our 2 blocks. Two spaces, chain 2, skip 2, double crochet into the next once and one more time, chain 2, skip 2, double crochet into the next for 2 spaces. 2 blocks on the end. You should have 6 total stitches, so work a double crochet into those last 6 stitches to complete row 13. Row 14, reading left to right now, chain 3 and turn, and we have 7 blocks to start. So we're going to work a double crochet into the next 21 stitches. Next we have 3 spaces, so chain 2, skip 2, double crochet in the next 3 times. And we end with 5 blocks. So you should have 15 total stitches left. You're going to double crochet into each of those last 15 to complete row number 14. Row 15, reading right to left, chain 3 and turn. We start with 4 blocks, so a double crochet over the next 12 stitches. We're now working 3 spaces, chain 2, skip 2, double crochet in the next 3 times. We have 8 blocks to finish row 15. You should have 24 total stitches left in this row. You're just going to work a double crochet over each of those next 24 stitches. We have worked rows 1 through 15 together on camera. Rows 16 through 20 are repeats of rows that we have already done in this square. So for row 16, you're going to repeat row 5. For row 17, you're going to repeat row 4. For row 18, you're going to repeat row 3. For row 19, you're repeating row 2. And for row 20, you are repeating row 5 again. So if you need a refresher on those rows, rewind this video and take a look at each of those rows that we have already done for rows 16 through 20. I'm going to go ahead and work those rows off camera, and I will be right back to show you the completed December Dove Filet Crochet square. And this is the December Dove Filet Crochet square. Thanks to everyone that watched all of these tutorials for our 2024 Filet Crochet calendar crochet along blanket. Stay tuned because we will be joining the panels to our joined squares to complete this 2024 filet crochet blanket project. So until next time, happy filet crocheting, everyone. Bye!